Here with another video. Hope you all enjoyed the first one. Definitely does help if you make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new. I will be uploading on this channel every now and then as topics come to my mind. But this one was kind of bothering me earlier today. Been watching a couple of videos on YouTube while I was working, of course, to distract myself, and I'm really getting tired of the shaming that's going on with different copes, especially between men. Obviously, men have different ways to cope, and obviously, there's some that are more popular. There's ones that are more accepted with others. There's ones that, I guess you could say trendy copes. I don't know. There's just ones that you'll definitely get the pat on the back or a thumbs up for, and then there's other copes that are like, that's still not acceptable yet. Till this day, you'll be surprised that being a gamer, someone that's just playing video games, or I don't know, maybe you like playing chess or solitaire or something like that, or you like playing mobile games on your phone or tablet or something like that. You'll be surprised that that is still not widely accepted yet. That's not like streamlined yet, which is crazy because I mean, arcades have existed for decades now. I mean, so I don't really get it. It seems like playing video games or gaming is still not totally acceptable, right? As a cope, right? Or it's like, well, if you're a certain guy, it doesn't matter. But if you're another type of guy, it does matter. Here's the thing, right? Um, Especially for men that are living alone, you need everything in your power to get to the next day. And sadly, the reality is that having a job is not always going to cut it. Having friends is not always going to cut it. If you have them, good for you. If you don't, well, it's okay. Maybe you don't want them, right? But, some people rely on their jobs to cope, right? Sometimes they'll do overtime for no reason, but they do it because they want to get paid more. But they also do it because maybe that's their way to cope, right? There's people that watch their TV shows, people that love watching movies or old films. There's collectors, people that like collecting maybe vintage cars or vintage coins or vintage guitars, or maybe you're a music person. Maybe your thing is going to the plays or watching concerts or something like that, or watching old concerts on the internet. You could always look up something old school to watch. Like the old school, maybe some old school Linkin Park or something, or some old Michael Jackson concerts or something, or some Beatles or whatever you know, there's multiple ways to cope, right? I think the problem is that dudes are either getting shamed by other dudes because their copes are not as cool as theirs. Like typically the ones that are very popular and common. Oh well, I want to go. I like going to the gym, okay, or I like to party, or I like to go to the bar and drink. Like those type of things. Or I guess listening to music is pretty common cope, right? But those ones are, for the most part, I would say streamlined. Most people don't really have a problem with them. If you tell someone that you like going to the gym and because it make you're coping and stuff like that, like no one's gonna kind of like look at you funny for that shit. Or you like going to the bars and partying, no one's gonna look at you funny for that, because those are like more like they can label you as, oh, you're a social person because you like going to the bar and parties or some shit like that. But some people are using those things to cope as well. They're just more popular. They're just more popular and generally more accepted than others, right? I mean, you could be a person, like I said, you could be a collector that just collects like model cars, or maybe you're the type that collects like little Gundam models or something, or you're an action figurine collector. Like that's a real thing that people do. Or you collect cards, baseball cards, Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or Dragon Ball cards, or Digimon cards, whatever. Maybe you're just a card collector of a certain thing. Um, there's multiple ways to cope, and I think as a dude, especially if you're living by yourself, but also for dudes that are living with roommates, family, whatever, to get you through the day, bro, you need to find as much copes as you can obtain that keep you busy, maybe to keep you productive. Maybe they can distract you for a while, right? Maybe you like playing music. Maybe you have a drum set at your crib, but you just play the drums or you play the guitar Maybe you have a random saxophone at your crib. I don't know. Maybe you play the flute or something. I mean, whatever, guitars. Maybe you have a trumpet at your crib. You just like playing trumpet randomly. Like, that's all fine. I think as long as you're not harming anyone, right? You're in your own space. You're doing your thing. I don't see the problem. Maybe you like just taking a jog outside. Like, that's a common one that people won't really, come at you with, right? Maybe you like taking walks. Maybe you like going to the lake, going to the park, chilling with your headphones in, listening to some podcast or music. There is nothing wrong with that shit. And I think dudes need to stop trying to get validation from their own copes. As long as you're not harming anyone, as long as you're not crashing out, I see no problem with it. Like, maybe you like drinking, right? Hopefully you don't become an alcoholic, but maybe that's your thing. Maybe you just like going and getting a couple shots. You buy your favorite whatever drink, you go to the crib, just maybe you take 3 shots or something. Maybe that's what you do. Maybe you have a bike or something. You like going, on your bike or whatever. Maybe you have a motorcycle. Maybe you actually have a motorcycle. You like going on the road, cruising or whatever after work or something. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you like, buying like old cars and like opening up, see what's inside and taking out parts out of it, modding cars or something. Like, maybe that's your thing. I mean, as long as you can afford what you're the cope, it doesn't make you crash out. You're not causing harm to anyone. I literally see no problem with it. I see no problem. Maybe your thing is, hey, maybe I like going to the strip club, like twice a month. Okay, maybe that's your thing, right? But dude, the relying on your job or just the normal when you are a person that lives alone, you're just on your own doing your solo dolo shit, dude. It is very easy to get caught into idle time. Dude, once you're idle as a man, dude, there's no guarantees that shit's going to be positive for it. That could go down very negative, right? Ups and downs, right? There might be some days where you're just very down about shit. Maybe you're just very depressed about some things, right? You're going to need some copes, And here's the thing. You might have maybe 5 copes or something, right? There may come a time when you get tired of that shit. Maybe you don't want to go to the gym anymore. Right? Maybe you're tired of listening to the same music you used to listen to. Maybe you don't want to play your guitar anymore. Maybe you're tired. Shit, some people cope, like I said, drinking, smoking. Maybe you're tired of smoking. You're like, fuck this. I don't want to smoke anymore. This is lame. Let me stop this shit. Let me move on to something else. You're going to have to re-up on your copes. You're going to have to, because it's not even realistic to keep doing certain ones, right? Now, like I said, maybe it just depends on you, though, right? Maybe you can be the type that goes to the gym yearly, and you're still be able to do that. But once again, I think if you are a man who is living alone or with family, friends, whatever, you have to rely on yourself. And I think the main way to help you with that is finding ways to cope, especially if you're down and out. Maybe you're going through it. Instead of crashing out, why not just cope? I know, and I don't think we need validation for the copes. I really don't. I don't think we need that shit. I know some people may want that pat on the back or, oh, that's cool, bro, whatever type shit. But sometimes it could be as simple as, like I said, just riding a bike. Maybe you, I don't know, maybe you collect newspapers. Like, it could be something obscure. Like, it could be some random shit. Like, maybe you just like going to thrift stores and like collecting old vintage items or some shit. Like, it could be some unpopular shit. Maybe you like fucking going to Bed Bath & Beyond or some type of store that sells covers and pillows and shit, and just like looking at pillows. Like, it could be random as fuck, but at least you're not crashing out or causing harm, right? I mean, women, for them, they have their own copes too, but for them, they're social magnets. For them, they can get attention very easily. Like, but for us, we can't. Like, you're gonna have to rely on something, right? And like, as long as you're not harming yourself, harming others, you're not crashing out, I literally see no reason or no problem finding copes. It's perfectly fine. That's what humans do, whether people want to admit it or not. All humans cope in some type of way. The problem is some are more popular, some are more common than others, right? That's it. That's all it is. And you do not, I believe you do not have to get those copes validated by other dudes that don't really even care about you anyway. Right? If you want to watch anime, dude, watch it. Right? You want to read some manga? Go ahead and read that shit. You want to read some comic books? Go to your comic book store and read some shit. Maybe you like reading books. Okay, that's cool. Go to the library, go to your Barnes and Nobles, get some books, read that shit. Just sit there and chill. You know? I mean, there's people that go to malls, sit down and people watch as a thing. Now, I mean, as long as you're not harming anyone, that is kind of creepy though. I know women do it too, but I think that's kind of weird. But some people just like going to the mall and this to walk around, right? Window shop, as they say. If that's your thing, fuck it, go do it, right? I mean, for people that are like fans of like travel and stuff, maybe you just like going on Amtrak maybe once a month and going, maybe going inbound, outbound to your nearest metro or out your metro, whatever the hell. Maybe that's your thing, right? It doesn't have to cost anything. Maybe you just like going to the lake. Now, it may cost you time, but it's time. You're better off doing that than crashing out and causing harm to yourself or feeling down about something and it's stuck on you, right? And you just can't get you're out of sync. Well, use one of your copes and maybe that can help. But once again, it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee though, right? But dudes have to stop shaming each other or judging each other's copes. And I understand if it's like some creepy stuff, whatever, I get it. But I'm talking about just the ones that are not acceptable or the ones that are not so popular, right? Everyone's different, dude. Everyone doesn't care about going to parties. Everyone does not care about going to the bar. Everyone does not care about going to the gym. All right. And this may be a shocker, but not everyone cares about watching football or watching sports. All right. All right. I know those are more like entertaining copes, right? But those are generally super popular, right? Maybe, I don't know, maybe you like watching golf. I don't know. That's a thing. But that's probably more acceptable than, I collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards or some shit. For some reason, as old as Yu-Gi-Oh is, especially us millennials from the 90s, like as old as Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon are, you'd be surprised. There's still dudes that stupidly judge other dudes for coping and maybe they want to collect those cards, It's crazy, Once again, it just depends on what type of dude you are, But I think having a cope or multiple is needed because eventually you're going to get tired of them. You're going to want to move on to different stuff. And that's okay. Maybe write yourself a list of things. Hey, what are these things I like to do when I have idle time? Because being idle sucks ass. Now, I understand though, it is good to sometimes just kind of like turn off everything and just chill. Maybe you like meditating or something like that, right? But especially how everything is going in the US, gas prices are just stupid. Housing is stupid. Cost of living is stupid. The dating market is stupid. I mean, even work-life balance really is getting kind of crazy, getting stupid too recently, going about my last video. So it's like, bro, the need for having copes is like, it's especially necessary at this current time. And it's only going to get worse, dude. So that's just my thoughts on it, man. I think dudes should stop judging other men. Men are gonna need to find copes. It is what it is. Especially for some of us that live alone. I am a father though. I am, but for some men that don't have kids, don't have friends, family, if you're just isolated on your solo dolo shit, it's gonna help you survive. It's gonna help you get to your day to day to find these things. And now I guess you could kind of call them hobbies, but I don't think. I mean that could be a discussion of hobbies versus copes. I guess if they're the same thing or not. But I just think it's extremely important. I think it's extremely important, man. Just to get through the day. And beat that idle time, beat that downtime, because sometimes you might be up and positive and everything's going well another day, one day, and then the next day, boom, you're back down low. You're back down, depressed, or something's getting to you. There's nothing wrong with coping. There is absolutely nothing wrong, and dudes just need to chill, right? Dudes need to just people don't care about us, right? For the most part, if you're on your own, and you don't have any like relationships or anything like human connection, I mean, most people don't give a shit about you anyway. So why should their opinion even matter in the first place, right? You don't need other people's validation to get through the day. Like I said, as long as you're not harming anyone, crashing out, go ahead and ride your bike, bro. Or maybe you skateboard. Go skateboard. Do that shit. Fuck it. Do that. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you like soccer. Maybe you like this jogging, running. Like I said, playing music. Maybe your thing is cooking. Shit, go buy some cookbooks, dog, and fucking learn cook some new shit. Like, whatever it is. You're not crashing out. You're not causing harm to people. You're in your own space, minding your business, and trying to defeat idle time. I see no problem with it at all, honestly. But if you look at the internet, there's always someone saying, "Oh, well, he's playing video games." Like, bruh, arcades have existed for decades. Dog. Like, I don't get it. Like, but watching sports will never get shamed. But playing games, for some reason, I mean, and here's the thing about finding copes, right? You can still be a productive dude and still need to have copes. Like, I'm not saying be a bum or anything, right? But even productive men need to find copes. It's not just about, oh, I'm a bum and I'm bored and I have all this idle time. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about even as a person that's, like I said, you have a job, you have a career, maybe you have a trade, a business, and you're on your own, solo dolo, or living with family or whatever, or friends, but you're just more like, kind of isolated. It is still good for dudes to have copes, ones that they can maintain, or once they get bored, they move on to the next one. That's all I'm saying. And it's crazy in 2026. People are still nitpicking at what copes are cool and what copes are not. But I say fuck them, honestly. Fuck their opinion. Whatever they think, whatever. All right. I mean, if they want to just, but like I said, it's really up to you, man. Right? Other people's opinions should not matter. But let me know your thoughts anyway. I'll see you guys later on more videos. Peace out. Make sure to like the video and share it. Definitely does help.